Hey, this is Jack Nelson, and this is another great episode of ETX Rocks, featuring Kenna Danielle.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX ROCKS Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville down to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. Now, as always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuned in, please hit the like, follow, and or subscribe buttons. And now, for another great episode of ETX Rock. Hey guys, Boston Chris with the ETX ROCKS Show, and you are tuned into the 244th episode of the show. Now, our guest today hails from Conroe, Texas, but now lives out in Levelland, Texas. She has one of the most soulful voices within the Texas music scene. Now, Kenna Danielle will not only pull you in with her vocals, but just take a listen to the lyrics flowing from her pen, and you'll be doubly impressed. Although still a young performer, she has hit success with the #2 hit in Texas by Jerrett Zoch called Sippin On Shine, as well as a hugely popular song called A Cross, which she co-wrote with Bri Bagwell. Now, her debut EP called Like a Tumbleweed will leave you absolutely breathless. Now, with the release of her second single on the horizon in May, which we'll talk about in depth here today, we are proud to welcome Kenna Danielle to the show for the very first time. Hey guys, so as promised, we have a huge treat for everybody out there today. We're talking with Kenna Danielle today. And man, I've been following along with Kenna's journey for probably about 6 to 8 months, and I guess that's probably about the time you came on the scene with the first single, right?
Yeah, the first single, A Cross.
Yeah.
2 words, A Cross, however you want to say
it.
Yeah.
Just a kick-ass song. And okay, so now we do have a huge treat. The first single by Kenna was called A Cross, and she's actually going to play that live and unplugged here for y'all. But this was a Bri Bagwell co-write, and so I'd love to hear your side of how this song came to fruition.
Yeah, it was an awesome writing process. Me and Bri had gotten together for about 3 hours one day. It just so happened that she was in town, and we were able to get together and write. And we got done with the first song, I-35 Reasons, and we had probably about another hour and a half left, and we were like, well, let's just go get some coffee or something, or whatever. Our brains were kind of fried after that one. And I ended up just talking to her, just venting, just catching up. And the week before, actually, my older brother was in a really bad car accident in Houston. He was hit from behind on 288 by someone going over 100 miles an hour. They don't really know exactly. And he was thrown across the median into the other lanes where he was T-boned again. So it was one of those things where the paramedics showed up with body bags, but when they got there, my brother was out walking around. So
Wow.
It was definitely a miracle. I don't know if there's anyone religious out there, but there was a Bible underneath his front seat, and that was the only piece of the car that was left. So it was an amazing experience, and I was telling Bri all of this, and then this song just kind of came together, talking about the crosses on the side of the road. I think I mentioned, like you always see those crosses on the side of the road, and I was like, now when I see them, first of all, I notice a lot more of them, and second of all, I just sit down. I got to say a prayer.
Yeah, because your brother could have been one of them.
He should have been.
And that's the gist of the song, is just seeing those crosses and recognizing the miracle for what it was with your brother. And it's just a powerful song with a huge message. And if you guys haven't heard the song yet, man, you guys are going to be extremely impressed with this song and just the creative process behind Kenna's songwriting. And, man, we're super excited to have her here, and we're going to be talking in depth about her songwriting right after the song. But you guys check this out. It's live and unplugged, only here on the ETX ROCKS Show. The song is called A Cross by Kenna Danielle.
Flowers hanging down, they all go on forever, but I see them
I don't say enough that I love you. 'Cause I believe in angels, and as me and Mama cried, we knew there was one with you on 288 that night. I say a prayer every time I see the side of the road memory, 'cause it reminds me of what I could have lost, what you could have been across my heart that was almost broken. And I'll never leave any words unspoken, and I'll thank the Lord for keeping you down here. Because I believe in angels, and as me and Mama cried, we knew there was one with you on 288 that night. I say a prayer every time I see the side of the road memory, 'cause it reminds me of what I could have lost, what you could have been across. Thank God you're not across.
All right, so we are back once again with Kenna Danielle, the very first time on the ETX ROCKS Show. You're tuned in to episode number 244. Can you believe that? Less than 2 years, we've done 244 of these shows.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable stuff. We do not sleep, ever. We just don't. Because you can't afford to sleep in this business.
No.
As my good buddy Jared Thomas says, you got to hustle to be heard.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm working on a 5-hour energy sponsorship right now, so if I can get y'all in on this.
Yes, I will give you our address for sure. Because like 3 of those is 15 hours. You know what I mean? It's just simple math.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you're originally from the Conroe area, but you've moved out to West Texas, guys. You know, the West Texas area has so much talent out there, and it's hard for us to get some of those folks out here because if you're not from the state of Texas, it's huge. So, I mean, you're like 8 hours away from here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming out and
thank you for having me,
visiting with
really.
us. Because when I heard, I thought you were in Conroe when I asked you to come on the show, and I was like, well, that's not too bad. That's about 4 hours, but you're actually in Level Land.
Yeah.
And for you folks out there who may not be familiar with that, that's a little bit west of Lubbock, up in the Panhandle part of Texas.
I like to call it West-er, Texas.
West-er?
West-er. Go west and then go west-er.
Yeah, west-er of Lubbock.
Yes.
And so I'm a Yankee originally, so I don't know much about where all these places are. So when we have a new artist on the show that I haven't heard of the town where they're from, it's always cool for me. So I'm like, okay, Level Land. I don't even know how to say that. Like I had to ask her before how to say it. So what motivated the move out there?
Well, I go to college out there.
Okay.
There's a little tiny college called South Plains College in Levelland. I live probably about 4 minutes from it. The town, there's nothing there except for South Plains. South Plains College, and there's a Dairy Queen. So
cool.
There you go. But,
doesn't even have a Dollar General.
Actually, it does. Okay, you know what? I lied. There's a Walmart too. So we have everything we need. It's just, I think population 13,000. It's really small.
That's a metropolis in Texas. Come on now.
Very desolate though. I think that's why it always feels smaller because everywhere you look, there's just dust. I think the weather forecast for the past 3 weeks has been blowing dust. Yeah. I've never even heard of that. I've only lived there for about two years now. But it was to go to college there. It is, and I'm working on a commercial music degree out there. Cool. So I've got about. So
you got some strategy involved in what you're schooling as well.
Yeah.
So you're serious about this then.
Yeah, I've been playing music since I was, I guess gigging since I was 13. Yeah. So it's really been.
Was that like kind of opera style shows and stuff like that when you first started?
No. I hate to say it, but I was playing in bars. Okay. My first paid gig was a little tiny bar in Cypress, Texas called Wick Saloon, and they've since shut down. But it was a staple of Cypress for a long time, and that's just where all the locals went to hang out.
So what was the mindset for you at 13 years old, you're gigging already. So how did that come about?
Well, when I started playing guitar at 11 years old, and I would write poetry. I was always a creative person, I guess, growing up. But I would write poetry up until the time I was 11. I was like, I have to learn guitar. I'd been begging my parents since I was 8 years old, please let me play guitar, please. And so finally they were like, okay, fine, we'll give you guitar lessons. And that was my 11th birthday present. It was a year of guitar lessons. My parents were like, okay, after a year, she's never going to want to touch the thing again, and we'll just call it a day. Well, it was not a phase. And I wanted to be... Clearly not.
Yeah.
And I actually just recently went back and looked at some of my old songwriting journals, which I didn't know I was songwriting when I was 11 and 12 years old. I was just putting poetry to my music. And a good friend of ours, Tim Nichols, he's an awesome musician out of the Conroe area. And he's a really good friend of my mom's. And he came over one night, and he heard me in my room, and he could tell they were not songs that were on the radio. And he said, is she writing songs up there? And that's when he told me, hey, this poetry, you're a songwriter right now. Yeah. And so I thought that was really cool. So that's when I really started focusing on the songwriting side. I always been a big guitar player.
at 8 years old, what is the catalyst for you? Like, what spurred you to want a guitar to begin with?
We were doing a spring cleaning at my parents' house, and my dad, when he was 8 years old, he learned 3 chords on the guitar, G, C, and D. And
just one more than Elvis knew.
Just one more. Yes, that's awesome. But yeah, my great grandfather had passed away just a few years before, and his guitar, my great grandfather's guitar, is passed down to my dad since he was the only one that knew how to play guitar. Right. And I saw him. He was probably playing just a regular old G chord, and I thought he was a rock star. And I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I spent the next week just plucking the strings, thinking I was making music, when really it was just
Isn't it crazy how something so simple could kind of create a monster?
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, you're 8 years old, and you see that, and you're just, like, wowed from it. And so 3 years, you're begging for a guitar. When you finally get this guitar, what's going through your mind?
So excited. And, gosh, I thought it was the coolest guitar ever looking back. And now I still think it's the guitar that I started on, which is my great-grandfather's guitar. I still think it's the coolest guitar ever because it has Merle Haggard's signature on it. So that's one of my most prized possessions, if not the most prized. But before all of that, it was just a guitar, and the strings were probably 40 years old, and my guitar teacher was like, I've never seen strings this rusted, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but
wow.
Yeah, I picked that up, and you can ask my parents, I never put it down. There were times, even up and through high school, my parents would have to knock on my door at midnight and go, you need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't on my phone. They were like, you need to put the guitar down.
Yeah.
It's midnight.
Right. So why haven't you written a song about this guitar? Because I see how passionate you are about this guitar, and I see this title, like My Grandfather's Guitar. This would be a great song.
Well, I kind of have before. It's been mentioned in one of the songs. It's never made a record or a CD or anything like that. But it's a song called I Have Angels.
Okay.
And it was between that song and Across put on the record, and Across ended up being a lot better just because both of them kind of had similar subject matter.
Yeah.
And to kind of keep it diverse, we picked Across over that one. But
it's so neat as a fan of music, and I mean, we feel extremely blessed to be able to talk to people like Kenna all the time. But to sit next to someone like Kenna right now, the passion is just dripping off of her, talking about her influence, which was that guitar, and it's just cool to feel that emanating from a songwriter. So thank you for sharing not only your creativeness, but I mean, a lot of times you're putting your soul into these songs. And so let me ask you this: as a young songwriter, you're writing who knows about what? It's probably not real mature subject matter, but as you're getting older, you probably realize I'm going to have to be vulnerable at some point if I want to really show emotion in my songs. Was there a struggle at all with you there?
Totally, and I think it's ongoing.
Yeah.
Because growing up, of course, I was my first gig, like I said, was in a bar. So at age 13, 14, 15, the people that I was writing for, I guess, once I started realizing kind of the whole mindset, because when I first started playing guitar and writing songs, it was whatever was on my mind. And then I started playing shows, and I started realizing, well, they really liked this Merle Haggard cover about misery and gin, so maybe I should write a song about being sad and alcohol. And so I actually did. There's a song called Between the Bottle and the Bible on my CD, on my first CD, that I wrote with Marcus Eldridge and Tim Nichols. We wrote that when I was 14. And that was definitely like, I kind of put some of my own influences in there just because whatever 14-year-old struggles I was going through,
right?
And with whatever, with Marcus and Tim,
stuff like going to the dentist, doing homework,
braces.
Yeah.
No, but then even now, I think the song Across, I hate to bring it up again, but that was a really big turning point, because when Bri and I wrote that, I left the room and I was like, I'm never playing this song for anyone. This is way too personal.
Yeah.
I mentioned in the song how about baseball. My brother's a baseball player, and he plays for the Dodgers. Got to brag a little bit, but I was like, "There's no way! Like, this song is so personal. No one's ever gonna be able to relate. It talks about baseball. It's like, there's no way." And sure enough, I ended up playing it. I think for my grandma. She came to a show and she hadn't heard the song yet, and my mom was like, "Just play it for Grandma. Do you want to ever play it again? Just play it one time." And I played it once, and the guy I was playing with, his name is Daniel Holmes. I think he was a ex-firefighter. I don't quote me on that, but he had a lot of experience with car wrecks and pulling people out of cars. And he told me, he said that song struck a chord in me. And he said, and I know nothing about your brother, but I think you should explore this and you should play it for people, because people appreciate the honesty.
Well, I think it can resonate with anybody. I mean, because everybody drives down the road and sees these crosses, and the song is a heck of a reminder about not just those crosses, but man, let's pay attention on the road.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Just let's pay attention. And I think sometimes when a song that's so personal to you, sometimes it's hard to step outside of that box and see it from a different person's perspective. And I think that's why the song did so well. I mean, when you put this song out, did you imagine it would do that well on radio?
No. I had some people, which of course I still am learning the whole radio process. Right. But going into it, I had people telling me, if it gets in the top 100, that's a huge win.
Right.
And I
Absolutely.
thought, and then when mine, I think it debuted at like 96 or something like that, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand the whole numbers game 100% just yet, but I'm proud of where it went in the top 50. 41, I think is where
I think you're right. And I think when you were 41, you were the second highest female on the chart.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah. So, just to help you out a little bit with the charts, look at it this way, right?
Yeah.
There are thousands of artists in the state of Texas. Think about it.
It's a whole lot.
So if you come in at number 100 out of thousands,
that's cool.
It's pretty damn neat, man. Like, a lot of people don't really agree with the charts. Some people don't follow them. Some people don't care about them. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm on the fence on that. But I think the charts and what Texas Regional Radio is doing is putting people like Kenna Danielle on a platform for people to hear.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I think I don't think it matters where someone comes in so much. For me, when the chart comes out on Friday, I'm looking at it because I want to learn about new music. I want to hear new music. I'm that guy, like I'm passionate about hearing something new all the time. So when I see a new name like Kenna Danielle, I was like, man, this is great. I'm looking for the song, And Friday is my day because I'm always listening to new singles every Friday night when the chart comes out.
That's awesome.
And it's just neat. And so when the songs come out, it's like, man, I want Kenna Danielle on the show. And then I saw Dylan promoting it, and I was like, all right, me and Dylan are cool. Like, we're good friends. Like, this is going to happen. And then I found out you lived out west, and I was like, man, this is not going to happen. But then it did, and so I'm just really stoked about this. And, you're still in college. You're still a young artist. I know you have an identity. I'm sure it probably took you a long time to grow into that identity. Am I right?
I'm still growing into it. What are you talking about?
Okay. So, would you say that you're never satisfied with just standing still?
Oh, never.
Yeah.
No, there's always something that in every single aspect.
Yeah.
If it's not as a musician, there's always room to grow as a musician. As a businesswoman even. I just recently put a band together. We've been, I had to say probably about 6 months. We've actually been on the road for, a few dates a month together. And that's a learning process.
And
that's
all over the state, too.
Yeah, and we've been traveling, and that's a learning process, too, just trying to figure out how to wrangle in 3 guys and a dog. We have a dog that we take.
Finding out who likes what fast food.
Yeah. Yes. That and just, just different personalities. So there's always room to grow somewhere.
And I love how you said in every aspect of it,
in every
because
single.
people who aren't in the music business may not know what she's talking about there, but being a musician is also being a brand. It's also being a business. It's also being a writer, a performer, all of those things. And those things, sometimes they have blurred lines.
Totally.
But they're definitely separate.
Yes.
So I would love to hear from you as far as, you're a vocalist, you're a performer, you're a songwriter, you're in a band. Who were your influences and keep those blurred lines separate as you tell me your influences.
Okay,
I
see.
I think I read that your biggest songwriting influence was Walt Wilkins.
He's a huge one.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually got the opportunity to work with him.
Yeah.
And that totally just blew my mind as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Because here I took this song, and it was, once again, a song that was really personal to myself, and he listened to it and he said, "This is awesome." And I was like, "I think it needs a bridge." And he was like, "Why? You already said what you need to say." And he was really the first person that kind of, I guess, showed me that song structure, like verse, chorus, bridge.
That's
chorus.
the thing about Walt Wilkins, man. Like,
yeah.
What makes him great is the lack of structure sometimes.
Yes,
Exactly. It's just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as what I've been trying to convey is conveyed, why would I need to add to it?
Yes.
And I definitely see that in your style too. So I'm glad you learned that from him.
Thanks. Yeah, me too. He's a saint. I love him.
Yeah. So same question as far as vocals and stuff you like to listen to. What has really influenced you the most as an artist?
Yeah. I think at first, I've always been a huge Merle Haggard fan. I think he was definitely one of the ones that I latched onto at a really early age.
Misery and Gin?
Yeah, that's my all-time favorite song, favorite cover to do ever. But Merle Haggard for sure. Willie Nelson is a close second. I latched onto him as well. I read all of his books that he puts out. But vocalist-wise, I would say Grace Potter. She's not really a country. She's not country.
Right.
She's done some crossover stuff, I believe, but
very soulful.
Very soulful,
yeah.
And I really admire her. Caitlin Smith is kind of a newer one too that I've latched onto. Maren Morris, I love her voice. I admire it. Try to learn from it. Try to take some tips and tricks.
So, again, we're talking about the different aspects of being a performer, and I love that you're smart enough to know and take from different sides of different performers. Like Walt Wilkins, he's a great performer, great producer, great songwriter, but you've learned more from the songwriting side of Walt.
Yeah.
But then you have vocalists that you like that you're taking a little bit from them. I think it's awesome that it's important to be a sponge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've always, and my biggest thing too is not being afraid to ask questions, because I've been in some pretty awesome situations. Just recently I got to write with Brandon, or not write with, playing in the round with Brandon Kinney and David Lee, and David Lee wrote the 1970 something, just all kinds of all these hits, and gosh, just taking
kind
it
of humbles you, don't it?
It would totally, definitely. I left that show and I was like, how was I on stage with these two guys? Like, it was amazing, but they were so kind, and any question that I had, they, especially David Lee, he really latched on, and he was giving me all kinds of advice, and just.
Well, I'm here to tell you, as a fan of yours, that you belong.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Man, I'm a huge fan of songwriters, okay? And so when I started listening to your music, I was like, there is no way she's still this young. Because I think it's hard for any songwriter to be vulnerable and to write about personal experiences. And that's what's cool about your EP is you can feel that you lived each one of those songs.
Thank you.
And so I commend you for being able to put those out there. Where did you find that confidence? Because I'm pretty sure it probably wasn't there to start with.
No, for sure. And like I said, it's something that I think every songwriter is still working on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but I guess for me, especially in high school, I was always kind of doing my own thing. Even now in college, I have my college friends, but we're still I still do my own thing at the end of the day. But it was really, growing up, I had 2 older brothers, so I was never like the girl that, could do the makeup very well, all that, or hair. So always things I had to learn, not really fitting in. I think not fitting in high school, I would go and play in bars on Fridays and Saturdays instead of going to the football games. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but I think just kind of being kind of separated from the crowd, and it was totally my own doing. I always booked my own shows. I always did my own thing in high school. My parents supported, but they always were like, this is your thing. So if you want to do it, you go for it. We're not here to be a momager, So that was, I think, just doing my own thing, really. It just kind of gave me the confidence to, who cares if people don't like me?
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, too. I mean, I hate harping on the fact that you're a young artist, but a lot of the younger artists today are writing about stuff that doesn't matter. It's not real. It's not relevant. It doesn't resonate. Mm-hmm. And so when I see a younger artist, it's always, I guess I'm almost a little more judgmental, trying to pick apart something. So, when I hear your stuff and it's so organic and it's so truthful and so honest and so livable, it's like, man, this is so atypical for me, because a younger artist usually struggles with being real, especially in the 21st century with all this dumbed down mainstream music. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that you've been writing forever at your age, because so do you face struggles with that side of the music business? Like, are you sitting there with your pen just saying, man, I need to write something that is going to resonate with people? Or are you thinking, I need to write something that's marketable?
Every single day. Sometimes it's just I need to write something. Actually, a lot of times it's I need to write something.
Yeah.
And I try my best to write, even if it's, sometimes, to talk about the commercial side of it, there's some times where I sit down and I write a song. Actually, just recently I wrote a song that I said I'll never play for anyone, so who knows, I might play it. But I wrote that one, and it literally had no song structure. It's just, there's nothing to it, I want to say. But the words, I think, were decent. But it was not commercial, and I kind of sat down and I was like, well, maybe it's not right. But then again, I feel like any of the big songwriters that you go listen to, any of the ones that you listen to, for Dean Dillon, he'll tell you need to write 1,000 songs, write as much as you can. Terry Hendricks is a huge influence of mine.
Oh, man.
And she's always saying, if you write every single day, even if it's just 2 sentences down on a paper, just write something, because that'll keep,
It's all about practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the more you practice, the more natural it becomes anyway, Exactly. You mentioned not really being safe with your identity yet. I think that's a big part of it. All right, so we're sitting here with Kenna Danielle. It's episode 244, just picking her brain about songwriting and her creative process and all the cool stuff that we love to do here on the ETX ROCKS Show, where we tell the stories behind the music, which is a little bit different than a regular radio interview, right?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
You having a good time?
Yeah.
Very cool. So Kenna was a little bit nervous before we started, but she's settled right in, hasn't she, guys? But we're going to be right back, and we're really going to put her to the test when we play Rapid Fire with Kenna Danielle. Y'all don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is old Whispering Bill Anderson at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. Thank you for tuning in to the ETX
So we are
Show.
back, and you're probably wondering how the laptop just miraculously appeared on my lap. It's because I'm a magician. I just go like that, and it disappears, or reappears, or whatever. But yeah, we're going to play Rapid Fire with our guest today, which is Kenna Danielle. If you guys have been watching the ETX ROCKS Show, you know we like to have some fun with our guest and play a little game. Sets us apart from other shows, I think, just the silliness factor of it. But the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask you 10 questions in a rapid fire scenario. I'm just going to throw them at you.
Cool.
And some of these are like a would you rather scenario kind of deal. And if you don't answer them in 10 seconds, in 90 seconds though, something really bad is going to happen.
Oh no.
Your pink hair is going to turn to like snot green.
Oh no!
So the closer we get to 90 seconds, that hair is just gonna start.
Oh no! Okay.
So you're gonna have to be fast. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. So this is rapid fire with Kenna Danielle. All right. What do you think is harder to find, MC Hammer's career or Jimmy Hoffa?
MC Hammer's career.
I agree. Everybody says that. All right. Would you rather act like Mr. Bean at one of your concerts or act like Pee Wee Herman at a funeral?
Mr. Bean at one of my concerts.
That would be awesome.
For sure.
Have you seen him play the Invincible drums?
No.
It's awesome. Look it up. It's on YouTube. All right. Would you rather heavy metal or rap?
Heavy metal.
Nickelback or Kenny G?
Nickelback.
That's a tough one, right? All right. Would you rather pass gas every time you hit a note of music, or would you rather stutter when you sing?
Stutter when I sing.
All right. Number 6. Would you rather always wear earmuffs or always wear a nose plug?
Nose plug.
This is going to be a fun show next weekend.
Nose plug, especially around
She's going
some
to
of
be
my band
stuttering
members.
with a nose plug in her nose. It's awesome.
Yes.
All right, number 7. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses.
Okay.
And just kick them.
Is there a reason for that? You just kick them
You just
off?
kick them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, number 8. Would you rather sneeze cheese or cry chocolate?
Oh, cry chocolate for sure.
Yeah. I'm there with you. I'm not a cheese person.
I'm cheesy and chocolate. But
All right, number 9. Would you rather spend intimate time on a cruise with your worst enemy or go dumpster diving with your best friend?
dumpster diving with my best friend.
Okay. Last one. I think she's doing awesome. Number 10. Name a superpower you'd like to have that would be completely useless in a dangerous situation.
Oh no. Dang it. I don't even think.
The hair is still pink.
I don't even think it. What's a superpower that that'd be completely useless? Putting on perfect eyeliner.
Yes. Eyeliner
For all the
girl.
women out there.
Have
Perfect
no
wings
fear.
every time.
Eyeliner girl is here.
Yes.
Slamming you with mascara. All right, so that was rapid fire with Kenna Danielle. And watch this, guys. The laptop is gone. All right, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And
Cool.
Kenna's actually going to play another song for us. And this is really cool. Now, earlier this year, we had Jerrett Zoch on the show. He was episode 205 or 206, something like that. And he played the number 2 song in Texas at the time, which was a Kenna Danielle original song. And Jerrett calls the song Sippin On Shine.
Yeah.
But the song title is actually Play with Lightning, right? And so she's going to actually play this song for you guys. So tell us about the song. Now, this was all you. This was not a co-write. So
Well, okay. There's kind of a little. This is where it gets really confusing. I hate taking all the credit because I did pitch the song the way that I play it, Playing with Lightning, to Jerrett and his band.
Yep.
I want to say in January 2015. I'm not sure about the number
Wow, a long
exactly.
time ago.
Yeah. But I said, hey, this is a song I just wrote. I think that y'all would sound cool singing it. And I said, take it, whatever, change some words. And so it ended up, his version ended up being a co-write. But we always get a lot of questions like, oh, what is that? But, it's not, in Texas, I feel like, I think in Nashville or whatever, in other scenes, they have a lot of discrepancy with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're friends. We always have been. So I would have never pitched a song to him if we weren't. So
Right.
I think I'm so honored that Jerrett even thought to record that song, and I love what they did with it.
Yeah.
But the version that I play and the version that's on my CD is just a Kenna Danielle song. But their version is a co-write, so it's a little confusing.
The very
So,
first time I heard
kind
this
of.
song actually was Sundance Head had put a video out. He was driving around in his truck, and he put out a live video of him listening to Jerrett Zoch,
That's so
Sippin
cool.
On Shine. And I was like, man, who is that? And then Jerrett had commented on it, and I was like, that's Jerrett Zoch. And so that's the first time I was introduced to this song.
That's so cool. Wow.
Was through Sundance Head. You didn't know that?
I think Dylan Steen actually tagged me in the video.
Yeah.
When I when I think about it now, but that's
Yeah.
just so cool that was the first time you heard
Yeah,
it.
it was
That's
it was
amazing.
neat. It was really cool.
That's
And
amazing.
so I'm really excited to show you guys this. This is live and unplugged. Only here on the ETX ROCKS Show. The song's called Play with Lightning by Kenna Danielle. Y'all check it out.
Can't you feel that feeling? I know you know that we gotta move. 'Cause I've been running that moonshine. I've been running all night. I've been playing with the lightning. I've been sipping that shine, sipping that shine. Can't you hear those whispering pine tops? Can't you taste that hair of a dog? And don't you know that feeling? By now you know our minds are filled with fog. 'Cause I've been running that moonshine. I've been running all night. I've been playing with the lightning. I've been sipping that shine. Yeah, yeah. Well, don't you know this is the only way I know? And don't you know this is the place I call home? In my soul shines by the light of the moon. 'Cause I've been running that moonshine. I've been running all night. I've been playing with the lightning. I've been sipping that shine. I've been running that moonshine. I've been running all night. I've been playing with the lightning. I've been sipping that shine, sipping that shine, sipping that shine.
All right, so we are back once again. That was Play with Lightning by the one and only Kenna Danielle from Levelland, and she's only out there because she's going to college. That's the excuse she's sticking with.
Yeah, sticking with it.
Now, when you're done with college, you're going to come back home to Conroe?
Probably not Conroe. I miss the piney woods. I really do. But I think I'm gonna be shooting to be a Central Texan.
Okay.
After
Like
the next
Austin?
year or so. Yeah, in or around.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how I would do actually in Austin, considering
Yeah.
I live in the middle of nowhere right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that move.
You're used to
would
the country
take.
life now.
Yeah.
Just
pretty
the
much.
country life covered in dust.
Covered in dust.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so if people are hearing about Kenna Danielle for the first time, where can they follow along with your musical journey on social media, your webpage, and where can they get your music?
Yeah, well, the best place to follow along is Facebook, or gosh, you can find me anywhere. Facebook is Kenna Danielle Music. My Twitter and Instagram are Kenna Danielle _ at the end. And my website is just kennadanielle.com. Usually, if you just Google Kenna Danielle, it'll pop right up. And you can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, anywhere music is streamed or sold. You can find it. CD Baby. You can go straight to my website and order a CD, I think, on Facebook and my website. You can message me as well on Facebook or Twitter, and I can get you set up with merchandise or CDs. We have T-shirts and koozies and guitar picks, anything you
And
might
we're going to be
want.
trying to get it set up with a T-shirt.
Yes, T-shirts, and I thought about bringing them this week, but there was no room in my car. It was really sad, but
She brought her friend instead.
yes, I had to bring a Danny, but I will send you a T-shirt.
Okay,
though.
cool.
But yeah, just message me on Facebook or email me on the email's on my website, and I can get you set up with any merchandise.
And the website is really well done. It's kennadanielle.com. You can find all of her tour information on there. There's linkage right to her social media, so you don't have to do any typing. Just click on the whatever platform it is that you use the most, and you can link right up to her. And you guys, I say this every time on the show, you just don't realize how much support it is to an artist just to hit that like or follow button, which is completely free for you guys to do that. It's huge support all across the board. It helps with venues booking people. Yeah. It helps with radio promotion. Believe me, you wouldn't know how much of a simple thing like that helps an artist. Streaming a song helps a lot. But I would say most artists would say the best way to support is to purchase the music.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, CD Baby, most of those places have all the music, both digitally and physical copies. Best way I would say is go to a Kenna Danielle show.
Yeah.
Because then you get a live version and you can pick up a recorded version on your way out, and you get her signature on it too. You know?
I'll sign it. And I'll write your name on it too.
Wow. That's a bonus.
That's a bonus.
All right, so once again, this is episode 244 with Kenna Danielle's very first time on the show. Hopefully it won't be the last. I want to invite you anytime you're promoting a new single, a new album, anytime you want to come back, you have an open invite.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Very, very cool. Today is my ear candy day. We're filming with Kenna and also Simone Nicole on the same day, and I'm not sure I can stand all this awesomeness in one sit down, but I'm going to try to get through. But definitely want to thank you for visiting with us.
You.
And if you guys are watching the ETX ROCKS Show for the first time, you can follow along with everything that we do. We're located on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at ETX ROCKS. If you're watching on YouTube, the best way you can help us is just hit that subscribe button. Every time we get a subscription, it changes the algorithms a little bit on YouTube, where we're featured in recommended video sections on YouTube a little bit more. And so that means with every subscription we get, then people like Kenna Danielle and all the other wonderful people we've talked to get a little bit more exposure through our YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button. Only hit it once though, because if you hit it once, it's free. If you hit it twice, we charge $21.88. And that's an automatic charge. You won't even see it coming. So only hit the button once. We tell them that because if they hit it twice, they unsubscribe, and that's no good. In Mexican, that's no bueno.
That's smart.
I'm bilingual.
You had me totally fooled. I was like, wow, I'm never gonna press that button twice.
$21.88, man. It's like a bounce check charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to do it. Also, guys, if you want to contribute to the ETX ROCKS Show, we are completely self-funded here. So you guys can help out with our project here. We've set up a donate link at www.paypal.me/ETXROCKS. And we will take American dollars, Monopoly dollars, Egyptian pounds, and ruples. No pesos, no dinero, no Robert De Niro, no Al Pacino, nothing like that. So make sure it's American dollars, Monopoly dollars, ruples, and Egyptian pounds.
Yes.
Yeah. Pesos do not spend well in Pepsi machines.
Wow, that's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it just goes straight through like a laxative.
Wow. I can't take this seriously. That's awesome.
Now, as we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right.
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson.
This is Bri Bagwell.
This is Jake. And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes.
Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Sippin.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwine.
Ho! Hey, folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.